Hello, good day to each and every one of us, ladies and gentlemen, especially my students in the subject law enforcement organization and administration. No, so to officially start our lesson, I just want to introduce this subject. Okay, so I am the or my picture is. On the or second from the right side. Okay, so this subject is a new subject based on CHED memo number 5 series of 2018. No, it is in accordance with Republic Act number 7722, otherwise known as the higher Education Act of 1994. So this subject is the basic subject under law enforcement administration with the title Law Enforcement Organization and Administration, no? The interagency task force. Okay, so or the interagency approach. Okay, so our subject is law enforcement, organization, and administration. So let us start this by answering this simple question, no? Then after which we will discuss the terms one by one. Okay? So it is a term which police derived from, which was used to describe the group of civil officers governing a city and not necessarily armed men, no? Yan. So or guarding or policing the city. So letter A, police, letter B, policia, letter C, politeia, and D is policeman. So the term which police derived from, which originally means government of a city or those group of civil officers governing a city but not necessarily armed men guarding or policing the city. The term that is being described is politeia. Okay? Politeia is the origin of the word police, no? And police and law enforcement, no? Law enforcement officers can be used interchangeably. Okay, so law enforcement officer or police. While uh, the word police can also be described as an organization which may pertain also to law enforcement organization. Okay, kaya baka na magtataka yung iba bakit law enforcement organization and administration yung topic pero police yung unang nadidiscuss. Why? Because based on the modern definition of a police, it also refers to an agency, no, which enforces law. Okay, so that is one of the definition of police. Tama? So when we say law enforcement organization, it is an organization which enforce law. Okay, however, in this subject, it is already broader than the layer 1 before, which is police organization, because it also encroach the interagency approach, wherein one law enforcement agency or one law enforcement organization will coordinate with other law enforcement organization, now in order to solve the problem in our country. Okay? So let us discuss the terms one by one, no? So who are the first users of the word police, no? Police was first used by French, which it describes a law enforcer. Yan. However, before it became police, no? Ito ay naging Roman word muna na policia, which means condition of the state, no? Yan. So it is not necessarily an enforcer. It refers to a condition of the state, no? Yan. Then the term policeman it is a term to describe a natural person who enforces a law, or it pertains to a law enforcement officer or to a law enforcer. Kasi pag sinabi nating police, that is a generic term which may pertains to the organization. Okay? While when you say policeman, it is pertaining to a natural person. Okay? Because there are two types of person. Okay, legally. We have juridical person and natural person. When we say natural person, it is pertains to a natural one, like us, like me, no? Like you. When we say juridical person, it pertains to a group of person, or it refers to an organization or a juridical entity. When you say juridical entity, group of person. Okay? Ayan. So let us take a look on the etymology of the word police. First and foremost, the word police was derived from the Greek word politeia. And the meaning of that is government of a city, which pertains to those civil officers governing a city, but not necessarily armed men, ladies and gentlemen. No? So politeia, a Greek word. Then when the Roman conquered the Greeks, the Roman changed the Greek word politeia, then they remove letter E. That's why the Roman word used politia, which pertains to the condition of the state. No? Then the French borrowed the Roman word politia, then they make it police, wherein the word police of France already pertains to a law enforcer. And the English people from England borrowed the word police also, no? And before, we know for the fact that the United States of America was colonized by England. That's why the United States of America have also borrowed the word police, no? Or adopted the word police. And of course, United States of America also colonized our country. That's why we also adopted the word police, which refers to a law enforcement organization or to a juridical entity responsible for enforcing the law, which is also pertaining to law enforcement organization, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Then, of course, in order to go for the language that we are using, then they translated it to Tagalog police. And that is what we usually see on the uniforms of our police officers. Okay? Or it may have been derived from the European word cap, meaning to catch or to seize, pertaining to a group of people, no, who catch those criminals and seize the property that they have robbed, and they will return it to the rightful owner. Okay, so yun po yung trabaho ng CAP doon po sa Europe. That's why in United States of America, police officers are also addressed as cop. Yan. So, are you a cop? Like that. Okay? Next question. It is more likely a European term which is used to describe a police officer. Okay, wherein their function is to catch or to seize. Letter A, cop. Letter B, police. Letter C, law enforcer. Or letter D, police organization or law enforcement organization. Take note, no? If an organization is tasked to enforce the law, it is called a police organization or law enforcement organization. Okay? Ayan. However, the term that is being asked in the question is the word cop. Okay? In England, they use the word capper or cap, which originated from the phrase chief of police or constable on patrol, or some trace it from the copper badge that was worn by early policemen in New York. Yon. Okay? So take note of the word law enforcer also pertains to a policeman, okay, or police woman. When we say police, okay, it is a general term or generic term pertaining to law enforcement organization or a police organization or law enforcement organization. Okay? So, as I have stated a while back, police organization and law enforcement organization is the same. Because when you say police organization, they are tasked to enforce the law. Okay? Pero ang kadalasan nating alam na police organization ay Philippine National Police. No? Pero hindi lang po yon. Okay? So all law enforcement agencies under the executive branch of our government is known as law enforcement organization. Like for example, the Bureau of Fire Protection. You have also the uh, Philippine National Police. You have also the National Bureau of Investigation. You have also the Bureau of Customs. Those are considered as law enforcement organization or police organization. Now, if those agencies will coordinate one another, okay, in order to solve a certain crime, no, it is already known as the interagency approach. Yan. That's why our subject law enforcement organization is much broader than police organization, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And so let us proceed to the definition of the word police or law enforcement organization. Police, it is the agency of the community or government that is responsible for enforcing the law, maintaining public order, and preventing and detecting crime. Yan. In the very broadest sense, the term police refers to an internal organization, no, with the function to control and the regulation of community or state through the constitutional power of the government. In a narrower sense, police denotes to the constitutionally created agency that exercises the power of the government concerning maintenance of tranquility, public order, peace, security of person and property, and protection of public health and moral. Okay, so it refers to any constitutionally created agency, no, which exercises the power for maintenance of tranquility and public order, to include peace, ladies and gentlemen. No, in its very restricted sense, police refers to an organization of armed men which is actually an institution that is capable exercising legally mandated duties to enforce the law, maintain public order, and detect and prevent crimes. Then the police is known as the prime mover of the criminal justice system. Okay, why? Because the police or law enforcement agency will be the one to initiate the criminal justice system by arresting criminal offenders. But take note, as I have already stated, ladies and gentlemen, that police is not only limited to the police or Philippine National Police Organization. It also includes the Bureau of Fire Protection. Okay, they are the initiator or they will be the one to arrest person who violated the RA 9514 and other laws related to fire, no, or for the existence of fire, for example. Yan. And then you have National Bureau of Investigation, okay, responsible for enforcement of special function, no, wherein they are responsible for investigation of high profile and sensational cases. Okay, so some police organization are called special police. Why special police? Because they are tasked to enforce a specific type of law. Okay, but the primary law enforcement agency of our country is the Philippine National Police. It is the largest police organization in our country. Kaya yun po yung madalas po nating nakikita. But there are also special police forces, no? Example po ng special police force wherein they enforce a specific law, as I have stated, is the National Bureau of Investigation. You have the Bureau of Fire Protection. You have also the Bureau of Customs, which enforce custom laws. You have also the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, which is responsible for enforcement of drug-related laws, ladies and gentlemen. And the last type of police is what we call as police auxiliaries. Okay? And those who assist in the enforcement of traffic laws, rules, and regulations, no? Yung pong ating uh, traffic enforcers, those are called as police auxiliaries. Okay? So, ano yung tatlong klase ng police? We have the primary law enforcement agency, which is the Philippine National Police. You have the special police, and you have the police auxiliaries. Okay? Now, they are considered as the prime mover, considering that they are the one who arrest the offenders, okay, then prepare the reports, and of course, they are also responsible for filing the case to the prosecutor's office. That's why it is considered as the prime mover or the gatekeeper of the criminal justice system, since its input will be the output of other pillars. Okay, it is also known as initiator because it initiate the criminal justice system by the arrest of offenders. Okay? So tanong, ba? Sir, pwede bang mag-aresto yung pong member ng Bureau of Fire Protection? Abay, syempre pwede. Okay? Yan. So, pwede bang mang-aresto po yung pong Bureau of Custom Officers? Yes. Pwede din rin ba yung pong member ng National Bureau of Investigation? Yes. Pwede rin po ba yung law enforcement officers ng DENR? Yes. Okay? So those are also law enforcement agencies or law enforcement organization, ladies and gentlemen. But those are special police forces. Okay? Ayan. So I hope that the word police or law enforcement organization is already clear to each and everyone. Okay? Yan. Okay, let's proceed to the history of the police organization. No, we have in ancient police forces. No, in Babylon. Okay, Babylonian clay tablet. Na may nakasaad doon na yung pong subordinate, no, have a report. Okay, report from the Babylonian officer to his superiors. Okay, so meaning, during that time in Babylon, there are already police officers or law enforcement officer because there was a report, okay, on the Babylonian clay tablet that was discovered by scientists. Okay, then temple guards and watchmen was mentioned in the Holy Bible, whose duty is to protect the city and to arrest violators of king's order. Okay, from the very beginning, no, from the Holy Bible, it was already written therein that there are watchmen, no, whose duty is to protect the city, no, and arrest the violators. Okay, while in ancient Egypt, we have the Magi, no? Egyptians organized police force. They are not members of the military force. However, their head is military. That is Magi. Okay? Then Vigilus of Rome. It was formed by Augustus, the first Roman emperor, which means a purposeful or watchful staying awake. They were armed with staves or wood or metal. They are tasked to keep peace and fight fires. Yun po yung Vigiles of Rome, ladies and gentlemen, or simply Vigiles. Okay? Yan. Then, we have another during the Middle Ages. No? So, sumunod po sa ancient, we have during the Middle Ages, we have here the frank pledge system or mutual pledge. Okay? It is a community which is, or a community is divided into group of 10 tithings or tithing men. Okay? Pagka sinabing tithings, ano ba yon? No? Tithing men. No? pag sinabi mo kasing tithing, ito ay alay. Okay? Because in this frank pledge system, ladies and gentlemen, if your son already turned 12 years old, then iaalay mo siya to have a duty, no, or to conduct police works, okay, in that area. So they are responsible for the conduct of enforcing the law and to band together for the city's protection. Okay, and this group is also responsible for the arrest of the transgressors. Okay, so that is frank pledge system, or also known as mutual pledge system. Okay, then take note, ano, frank pledge system is composed of 10 men because one 12-year-old, okay, will conduct patrol together with 9 of his or her neighbors. Yan po. So, yung isang 12 anyos ay sasama po sa siyam na kapit bahay wherein they have band together. Okay, and they are responsible for the city's protection. Okay? Yan. Then, we have the hue and cry. Okay? Ano ba yung hue and cry is a system, no? Yan, para mapabilis po yung apprehension. What is hue and cry system? It is a system wherein the complainant or victim goes to the middle of the community and shout out to call all male residents to assemble. The victim reports his complaint to the assembly. Then, of course, all male residents will go after the perpetrator or criminal, then apprehend him. Di ba? So, pupunta lang po yung biktima doon sa gitna ng village. Okay? Then, sisigaw lang po ng tulong. Then, isasalaysay niya kung ano ang nangyari. Ayan. So, pagka naisalaysay kung ano ang nangyari, then definitely, yung mga kalalakihan po ay hahabulin po yung transgressor. Yun po ang hue and cry system. Okay? We have also here the Shire-Reeve system. Ano ba yung Shire-Reeve system, ladies and gentlemen, no? Shire-Reeve system is a system wherein the whole kingdom was divided into different district, wherein Shire means district and Reeve means the ruler, meaning bawat district ay meron pong taga-pamuno. Okay? So yung distrito ang tawag Shire. Ang namumuno ang tawag po ay Reeve. So each country is being taken care of a reeve or a ruler who made laws, passed judgment, and imposed punishment. A reeve is appointed by the king and directly reports to the king in its enforcement of laws and order. Okay? Then we have also number 4, we have the keepers of the peace. King Richard of England in 1195 commissioned certain knights to preserve peace in unruly areas. They were responsible to the king for ensuring that the law was upheld and preserve the king's peace. So yun po yung trabaho ng keepers of the peace nga naman talaga. Okay? Kasi talagang i-enforce nila yung batas to ensure that no one will violate the law. So kung makikita natin, mula po doon sa ancient times hanggang dito sa Middle Ages, okay, we can observe that there are already a system of law enforcement. Okay? Meron na pong sistema sa pagpapatupad po ng batas at may batas na pong ipinapatupad. Okay? Yan po yung history during the Middle Ages and ancient ages. So next, we have also here the Charlies. Okay, Charlies ang tawag. It was founded by King Charles II of England in 1663. The Charlies are also called Shiver and Shake. Why? Because many members of it were already old and decrepit and would run if they say trouble or heard cry for help. O, diba? So, Charlies. Yan, parang ang kanilang trabaho lang, they serve as a warning device, pero hindi naman sila device, di ba? So, they are just there to warn those stronger ones, okay, if there are trouble. Okay? Then, another that was introduced is the Bow Street Runners or Thief Catchers. It was founded by Henry Fielding. This group of privately paid person was the first organized attempt to follow up investigation of crimes. Okay, so Bow Street Runners. So kung titingnan natin yung pangalan nila, no, Bow Street Runners, because they conduct patrol on the street together with their bow and arrows. If there is a crime that was committed, what they will do is to run after the kriminal. Okay, kaya tinawag pong Bow Street Runners. Then, nung meron na pong kabayo po yan, ang tinawag na po dyan ay Bow Street Horse Patrol. So, tatandaan nyo po, ano? Nung may kabayo na, ang tawag na po ay Bow Street Horse Patrol. Yan. While they conduct patrol, they are riding on a horse. Okay, together with their bow and arrows. Yan, kaya ang tinawag na sumunod, Bow Street Horse Patrol nung may kabayo na. Pero nung wala pang kabayo, Bow Street Runner because what they will do is to run after the criminals. Okay? So ang tawag po dito sa Bow Street Runner sa ating kasalukuyang police organization kasi dito kasi is non-uniform thief catchers ang mga to. Meaning hindi po sila naka-uniforme. Okay, kung titingnan natin, dito po yung pinanggalingan ng ating modernong police na kung tawagin natin ay Police Intelligence Group. Okay? Or yung pong intelligence group ng Philippine National Police. Bakit? Kung titingnan natin, hindi sila madalas mag-uniforme. In order to increase the probability of arrest. Okay, sometimes they are not using their uniforms. Okay, ganun din po yung mga members ng Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. Okay, they need not to be in uniform so that they will increase the probability of arrest. So kung titingnan natin yung history, meron pong mga sistema na nagagamit hanggang ngayon. Kaya po pinag-aaralan po yung history, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Then, after which, we have the London Metropolitan Police Force. Okay, London Metropolitan Police, which was founded by Sir Robert Peel. Okay? And because of he introduced, or what was introduced by Sir Robert Peel, he was regarded as the father of modern policing system, okay, by organizing the world's first organized modern police force. Later on, the London Metropolitan Police was called as Scotland Yard. So yun na po yung tawag ngayon, no? Sa London Metropolitan Police, na kung tawagin na po ay Scotland Yard. However, the idea of creating a sizable uniform police force, ibig sabihin pag sinabi nating sizable, malaki yung pong grupo na kung saan dapat yung police ay naka-uniform, no? Ay inintroduce po ni William Pitts. Pero sabi po, sa London, that was too radical, kaya hindi po inaprubahan. Then that idea was reiterated by Sir Robert Peel, no? Iniulit niya ito ulit, binuhay niya yung pong ipinanukala ni William Pitt na magkaroon po ng sizable uniform police force at doon na po naaprubahan, okay, ng lawmaking body ng London yung pong pag-create ng police force na naka-uniform. And yung purpose is to prevent the occurrence of crime. So dito na po na-introduce yung tinatawag nating crime prevention rather than on crime suppression. Okay? And because of introducing the London Metropolitan Police Force as the world's first organized modern police, Sir Robert Peel was regarded as the father of modern policing system. Okay? The history of policing here in the Philippines naman tayo, no? In pre-Spanish era, in the Philippines, the cabeza de barangay was the head of the leader of the group of tribes. Okay? The discipline and punishment as well as the conduct of government were made by the barangay head or the tribe leader na kung tawagin. As the population increased, the cabeza had to appoint certain trustworthy people to protect their villages These appointed people are the eyes and ears of the barangay head. So anong tawag sa barangay head? He is called as cabeza or cabeza dia barangay. Okay? So yun po yung tawag before the Spanish arrived here in the Philippines. Okay? Yan. Then, on the arrival of the Spanish, of course, they have established the first organized police force in 1712 and they called it Carabineros de Seguridad Pública. And it is known also as mounted police. Okay? Its purpose is to carry out the regulation of the Spanish government. No? The Carabineros de Seguridad Pública members of the Spanish militia or rifleman. Royal Decree of December 20, 1842, no, named or renamed it into Cuerpo de Carabineros de Seguridad Pública. Okay, the next that was introduced during the Spanish regime is the Guerrilleros by virtue of Royal Decree on January 8, 1836, the first rural police organization in each town was created. So bawat town, no, bawat munisipyo ay meron pong police organization. Okay? Their functions were maintaining public security and order, patrolling in dark and unsafe places, guarding the tribunal of municipal building and the prison houses. And the Guerrilleros, it was composed of 5% of able-bodied male inhabitants of each town. So, yung pong Guerrilleros na hindi na po puro Spanish, no? Yung pong nagkakandak ng patrol, kundi meron na pong 5% ng mga kalalakihan mula doon po sa bawat town or munisipyo. Okay? Then next that was introduced is the Guardia Civil, the police organization created by royal decree issued by the Spanish Crown Government on February 12, 1852. It relieved the Spanish Peninsular Troop of their works in policing the town. It consisted of a body of Filipino policemen organized originally in each town of or in each of the provincial capitals of central provinces of Luzon under the command of alcalde or ngayon is governor kasi noon syempre konti pa ang tao by province kasi, no? Yan, by province. Yan, yun po yung tinatawag nila na Guardia Civil, ladies and gentlemen. So, during the Spanish era, ano yung mga law enforcement organization na na-create? You have the Carabineros de Seguridad Pública na naging Carabineros or Cuerpo de Carabineros de Seguridad Pública. Then, sumunod po ay yung pong Guerrilleros, which consists of 5% able-bodied male inhabitants. At ito pong pangatlo, yung pong Guardia Civil, ladies and gentlemen. So, these are the law enforcement organization which exist during the Spanish regime. Okay? Then, we have also the Japanese occupation here in the Philippines. No? We have the so-called Kempeitai, or the Japanese military police. They were held responsible in maintenance and order or maintenance of order in Manila in adjacent urban areas. It ruled the urban areas until General Douglas MacArthur returned on February 7 of 1945. The Manila Police Department, which was created during the first American occupation, was renamed into Metropolitan Constabulary under the Bureau of Constabulary. The individual police officers of the Kempeitai is called Kempe, no? Tatandaan po, no? The individual police officers of the Kempeitai is called as Kempe. Okay, so Kempe or Kempei. Yan, so letter K po 'yon, no? So Kempe or Kempei. Yan. So, the organization of the Japanese military police no, of the Japanese Imperial Army is Kempitai. Okay, while the individual military officers are called Kempei, ladies and gentlemen. Then the police force during the American occupation. So what are the organization that was created during the American occupation? The first American occupation in the Philippines that came after Filipino-American War in 1898 to 1901 was followed by a period of political turmoil, no, and imbalance, no. They have created the Insular Police Force, which was established on November 30, 1890 during the Filipino-American War in 1898 to 1901 upon the recommendation of the Philippine Commission to the Secretary of War. Then after the Insular Police Force, they established the second, which is the Insular Constabulary. It was created on July 18, 1901 by virtue of Act Number 175. It is a law with the title and act providing for the organization and government of the Insular Constabulary. Okay, Insular Constabulary ang tawag dati. Okay, pero ang sikat na tawag na medyo naabutan natin ay yung pong tinatawag na Philippine Constabulary. Okay, but the start of the creation of Philippine Constabulary actually is Act Number 175, pero ang pangalan niya po ay Insular Constabulary. It was just renamed by virtue of Act Number 25. Okay? Yan. Then we have also in Metro Manila, we have the Manila Police Department or MPD. It was organized on July 31, 1901 by virtue of Act Number 183 of the Philippine Commission. And the first chief of police was Captain George Carey, a U.S. military officer appointed by the Taft Commission or the William Howard Taft Commission, no, on August 7, 1901. And Columbus Piat was the last American COP of MPD before World War II broke out. On October 3, 1901, ito na yung sinasabi ko, no? Yung Insular Constabulary ay napalitan, no? On October 3, 1901, the Insular Constabulary, which was created by virtue of Act Number 175, was changed the Philippine Constabulary or was changed to Philippine Constabulary. So napalitan po ng pangalan from Insular Constabulary to Philippine Constabulary by virtue of Act Number 255. The first Brigadier General or the first chief of the Philippine Constabulary is no other than Brigadier General Henry Teraman Allen or Brigadier General Henry T. Allen was the first chief of Philippine Constabulary. He was the first Philippine Constabulary chief from 1901 to 1907, such that he was called as the father of constabulary in the Philippines. The Philippine Constabulary was manned by mostly Filipinos, but officers were mostly Americans. Okay? At sino naman ang kauna-unahang Filipino na naging chief ng Philippine Constabulary? Okay, walang iba kundi si Brigadier General Rafael Crame. Okay, so si Brigadier General Rafael Crame was the first chief of or first Filipino chief of the Philippine Constabulary. Okay, while the first chief is an American in the person of Brigadier General Henry T. Allen. Okay? So, sir, diba? Tanong, bakit Brigadier General ang highest rank noon? Diba, 1 star lang yun ngayon? Yes. Okay, that's true. Because before, the Philippine Constabulary is only composed of 1 brigade. No? That's why the highest rank is Brigadier General with 1 star. Diba? So, 1 star lang dati, ang highest rank. Hindi tulad ngayon na yung PNP is headed by an officer with the rank of Police General with 4 star as the rank insignia. Okay, so tatandaan nyo po mga kapangarap, no? Yung pong history ng Insular Constabulary na naging Philippine Constabulary by virtue of Act number 255. Ang unang Chief of PC is Brigadier General Henry Allen, and the first Filipino chief is no other than Brigadier General Rafael Rame. Okay? Then the police force during the American occupation, the first American occupation in the Philippines that came after Filipino-American War in 1898 to 1901 was followed by a period of political turmoil and social revised administrative code of 1917, which was approved a year before the World War, August 1914 to November 1918 ended. In Section 825 of the said administrative code, it is stated that the Philippine Constabulary is a national police, okay? Wherein it is created for preserving the peace, keeping order, enforcing the law, and Brigadier General Rafael Crame became now the first Filipino chief of police. He served as the Philippine Constabulary Chief from 1917 to 1927, that is 10 years. Okay? Then on January 1, 1932, Act number 3815 as the primary law that is being enforced by law enforcement agencies. No, primary law, kauna-unahang batas na ipapatupad ng pulis kasi may pulis walang batas. So, noong January 1, 1932, in order to maintain peace in order, an act was passed which should be enforced by law enforcement organization, that is Act number 3815, or otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code of the Philippines, or RPC, took effect. At yan na nga po yung ini-enforce ng kapulisan ng Pilipinas. Okay? So yan po yung primary source of the criminal law. Yung pong Revised Penal Code. Okay? Then in November 1938, Act number 181 required the creation of Bureau of Investigation. This agency should be modification of the Division of Investigation from the Department of Justice. Finally, on June 19, 1947, RA number 157 was enacted, which created the National Bureau of Investigation. Okay? But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, now Act 181 created the Bureau of Investigation. Okay? Pero unang pinanggalingan yan is from Division of Investigation pa po yan. No? Division of Investigation was before under the Bureau of Internal Revenue. But by virtue of Act number 181, the Division of Investigation was reorganized at naging Bureau of Investigation. Okay? Naging Bureau of Investigation. Okay? Then na-reorganize ulit, no? By virtue of Republic Act number 157, then it created now the National Bureau of Investigation. Okay, pero may specific na batas po na nag-create po ng National Bureau of Investigation. Kasi nga, ang title lang dati po is Bureau of Investigation. Naging National Bureau of Investigation yan by virtue of Executive Order number 94. Okay? So by virtue of Executive Order number 94 from Bureau of Investigation, naging National Bureau of Investigation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's proceed to the important personalities in the historical evolution of Philippine Police Service. Yan. So mga importanteng personalidad ang ating pag-uusapan, mga kapangarap. Okay, bakit sinabi kong mga kapangarap? Sapagkat kung pangarap mong maging successful, pangarap mong makagraduate, at pangarap mong pumasa ng board exam, yun din po ang aking pangarap at aming pangarap bilang inyong teacher dito po sa College of Criminology ng Finma Aurelio University. Yan. So, we have number 1, we have William Howard Taft, the first civil governor of the Philippines. We have Captain George Carey, the first chief of police of the Manila Police Department. We have Captain Columbus E. Piat, the last American chief of the police of Manila Police Department before the World War II broke out. And we have Captain Henry T. Allen, okay, na naging Brigadier General, no? Rose from the rank of Captain to Brigadier General. He was the first Chief of Police of the Philippine Constabulary. Kaya kapag tatanungin who was the first Chief of Police na, then ang ilalagay ng rank ay Brigadier General. Ano? Brigadier General Henry T. Allen. Okay, then we have Brigadier General Rafael Crame became the first Filipino Chief of Police of the Philippine Constabulary. We have Colonel Antonio C. Torres, the first Filipino Chief of Police of Manila Police Department when it became an all-Filipino police organization. We have Colonel Marcus Ellis Jones, the first Chief of Police of Manila Police Department upon liberation of the Manila from Japanese Imperial Army. We have number 8, we have Colonel Lamberto T. Havalera, the first Chief of Police of the Manila Police Department under Republican government of then President Rojas. Then we have number 9, do not forget him, Cesar P. Nazareno, the first Chief of the Philippine National Police. And he is also the first Chief with 4-star rank. Okay, so noon, ang tawag nung ipinasa yung RA number 6975, the highest rank in the Philippine National Police is you have Director General. And Director General bears the rank insignia of 4-star, meaning Cesar P. Nazareno was the first 4-star Filipino General. Okay? So siya po yung kauna-unahang chief ng Philippine National Police, ladies and gentlemen. PNP, hindi na po PC. Okay? That is by virtue of Republic Act number 6975. Let's proceed to the history of police integration. In 1954, the idea of integration of all police forces in the Philippines was proposed by late Mayor of Manila, Arsenio Lacson. Kasi kung titingnan natin, yung mga pulis noon, di ba, by province po. Okay, meaning localized. Okay? So, yung pong klase ng sistema ng pulis dati is decentralized. Kasi, bawat munisipyo ay may kanya-kanyang pulis. So, anong ginawa? Noong 1954, si Arsenio Lacson nagkaroon ng idea na mas maganda siguro kung pagsama-samahin yung mga law enforcement agencies at dapat ito'y centralized na, no? Then the Police Commission was established by virtue of Republic Act number 4864, also known as the Police Act of 1966 by Congressman Chudolo C. Natividad, no? So, na-create po yung Police Commission which should supervise the law enforcement agency of the Philippines, specifically the Philippine Constabulary. No? In 1970, a constitutional convention was created mainly to change 1935 Constitution. And then, 1973 Constitution was finally adopted, known as the Marcos Constitution. And on Article 15, Section 12 thereof, provides that the state shall establish and maintain an integrated national police whose organization and operation administration shall be provided by law. Okay, so dyan na nag-start po yung integration of national police para makapag-create ng police force na national in scope and civilian in character. Okay, so we have the succeeding laws for integration. We have on March 21, 1974, Presidential Decree 421 was passed and was adopted. There, the local police in Greater Manila was integrated to test its effectiveness pursuant to the mandate of 1973 Constitution. In Presidential Decree number 421, it integrates all officers of fire, jail, investigators in Metro Manila, okay, to be integrated as one, ladies and gentlemen. At tinawag po sila na Integrated National Police of Metro Manila. Okay? So, Integrated National Police of Metro Manila. So, INP Metro Manila. Nung maganda yung integration, ano ang ginawa? Pinasaulit yung Presidential Decree number 482 which integrates the local police in provincial level, mostly especially in Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, and Misamis Oriental. Okay? So, it integrates all the police forces in 4 provinces of Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, and Misamis Oriental. At kung nasa Bulacan ka dati, ang tawag sa'yo kung police ka dyan is Integrated National Police of Bulacan. Pag nasa Pampanga ka naman, Integrated National Police of Pampanga. Ganon din sa Nueva Ecija, Integrated National Police of Nueva Ecija. So, INP. Pero kung titingnan ninyo, yung organization pa rin is by province. Okay, ngayon, dalawa na ang klase ng police noon. We have the Philippine Constabulary, which is national in scope but militaristic in character. And we have the Integrated National Police or INP, which is organized in every province. No? That's why, when we take a look on the functions, okay, almost the same yung functions. They are tasked to enforce law. So ano ang nakita ni President Ferdinand Marcos? Nakita niya na mas maganda siguro kung pagsamahin yung dalawa. That's why he passed Presidential Decree number 765 which integrated the Philippine Constabulary and the INP. Okay? Issued on August 8, 1975, it integrates police forces throughout the Philippines and local and municipalities. Its objective are to make all city and municipal forces cohesive, organized, better coordinated, and effectively directed. So kung makikita natin by virtue of PD 765, naging iisa yung dalawang organisasyon at tinawag po yung PCINP Integration Law, ladies and gentlemen. We have also PD number 1184 which deals with the professionalization law of the PCINP, ladies and gentlemen. However, in 1986, Ferdinand Marcos was ousted from the service and next president in the person of Corazon Juanco Aquino, okay, and its governance changed the 1973 Constitution at ginawa pong 1987 Philippine Constitution. At nakatasaad doon po sa Article 16, Section 6 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, there should be a police force which is national in scope and civilian in character. Okay? So nakasaad po sa 1987 Philippine Constitution na pumalit sa 1973 Philippine Constitution. Article 16 Section 6 provides for the creation of the police force which is national in scope and civilian in character. So anong nangyari? The Philippine Congress passed a law which organizing a police force which is national in scope and civilian in character. That's why they passed Republic Act number 6975. This is known as the Department of Interior and Local Government Act of 1990 because it was approved on December 13, no? December 13, 1990 by former President Corazon Juanco Aquino. Okay? So naipasa siya noong 1990, pero bakit niya tinawag na DILG Act of 1990? Because it created the tri-bureaus under the Department of Interior and Local Government. Ano yung mga law enforcement organizations or bureaus under DILG? Okay? Na-create na dyan yung Philippine National Police. Okay? Na-create din yung Bureau of Fire Protection. Na-create din yung Bureau of Jail Management and Penology or yung BJMP at na-create din yung pong school na mamamahala sa kanilang pag-aaral at yung po yung PPSC or the Philippine Public Safety College, ladies and gentlemen, PPSC. Okay? So that's why it is regarded as the DILG Act of 1990. Okay, so kailan na-aprobahan? December 13, 1990. Yan. Then we have also Republic Act number 8551. This act shall be known as the Philippine National Police Reform and Reorganization Act of 1998. So 1998 naman na ipasa na kung saan no, reform and reorganize na. Okay, bakit na reform? Kasi yung pong sistema ay na-reform, ganun din yung qualifications. Under RA number 6975, ang qualification para makapasok ka sa PNP is 72 units. Okay? Dito sa RA number 8551, ginawa na pong baccalaureate degree holder or graduate of 4-year course dapat bago ka makapag-apply sa Philippine National Police, sa Bureau of Fire Protection, no? Yan, and sa BGMP, BFP at BGMP naman ay may batas din sila. Yung pong i-discuss natin mamaya-maya lamang dahil nainggit sila sa PNP nung ipinasa yung RA number 8551, no? So meron ding batas na ipinasa para po reorganize at ma-reform din yung BFP and BGMP, and that is Republic Act number 9263. Okay, then we have also Republic Act number 9708. What is RA number 9708? Please take down notes if you don't have this in your module. It is an act extending 5 years the reglementary period for complying with the minimum educational qualification for appointment to the Philippine National Police and adjusting the promotion system thereof, amending the purpose of pertinent provisions of Republic Act number 6975 and Republic Act number 8551 and for other purposes. Okay? So kung nakita nyo, no, yung binanggit ko kanina sa 6975, yung pong mga police ay 72 units, pwede nang makapag-police noon or yung qualification. Okay? Sa 8551, baccalaureate degree holder. Okay? Sa 8551, those police officers who enter already under 6975, 72 units, in 8551, they are given 4 years to comply to attain the minimum educational qualification. Pero sabi ng mga ibang police, syempre, maraming trabaho. Kaya hindi po sila natapos sa pag-aaral, kaya po ipinasa yung RA number 9708, extending 5 years reglementary period para matapos po sila sa kanilang pag-aaral dahil ang naging minimum educational qualification nga under Republic Act number 8551 ay baccalaureate degree holder. Okay? Then recently, Republic Act number 11200 was passed. It is an act providing for the rank classification in the Philippine National Police, amending for purposes of Section 28 of Republic Act number 6975 as amended, otherwise known as the DILG Act of 1990, na kung saan yung ranko, yung tawag po, doon po sa rank ay napalitan. Yung dating PO1, ang tawag na po ngayon ay patrolman. Okay? Di ba? So, yung pong pinakamataas, which is Director General, ngayon na po ang tawag po ay Police General, ladies and gentlemen. So, we will tackle the rank classification on the latter part of our subject matter. No? Then we have also Republic Act number 11279. It is an act transferring the Philippine National Police Academy and the National Police Training Institute from the Philippine Public Safety College to the Philippine National Police, amending for purposes of Section 24, 35, 66, 67, and 68 of Republic Act number 6975. Dati kasi, yung PNPA at saka NPTI or National Police Training Institute para sa mga bagong recruit ng Philippine National Police, under po yan ng Philippine Public Safety College. However, by virtue of Republic Act number 11279, na-transfer na po yan from PPSC to Philippine National Police. Meaning, ang magtuturo na sa mga PNPA at saka yung mga bagong recruit na police ay mga kapwa-police na rin. Okay? So, that is by virtue of Republic Act number 11279. Okay? So, those are the important laws, ladies and gentlemen, or some of the important laws regarding the primary law enforcement agency in our country, which is the Philippine National Police. Yan. So let's proceed to the fundamental theories of police service. Okay? There are only two theories regarding police service. First theory is continental theory. Okay? So ano nga ba yung sinasabi ng continental theory? Okay? Police officers are considered servants of higher authorities, and the people have a little or no share at all times in their duties nor direct connection with them. Okay? So ito yung sinasabi na yung pong mga police ay naninilbihan lang sa mga higher authorities. Yan. 'Di ba? Or this type of theory prevails among continental countries like France, Italy, wherein the government structure follows the centralized pattern of government, and the local government agencies have no power. Unlike po kasi sa atin, meron pong kapangyarihan yung mga local government units natin. Okay? Pero kung walang kapangyarihan yung local government units, kung saan yung mga pulis ay naninilbihan lamang sa mga matataas na opisyalis ng gobyerno, ang theory po na ina-apply nila ay continental theory. Another theory, you have home rule theory. Ano ba yung home rule theory, ladies and gentlemen? Okay? Home rule theory is a theory which states that police officers are considered servants of the community who depend for the effectiveness of their function upon express wishes of the people. In this theory, police officers are civil employees whose primary duty is the preservation of public peace and security. This is practiced in England and United States of America, where the governmental structure is decentralized, wherein the local agencies or local government units have the power. And the theory that is being applied here in the Philippines, kung titingnan natin yung definition, is the home rule theory. Why? First and foremost, the police officers in the Philippines are serving the public. Okay? Yan. So, the police officers in the Philippines should serve the public. So, they are considered as servants of our community, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, secondly, the local government units of the Philippines have the power, over the law enforcement organization or police officers. Okay, kaya nga may nakalagay po sa ating constitution, civilian authority prevails over the military and the police. Okay, and the local government units, the governor is the one who chooses the provincial director. Diba? We have also the mayor have the power to choose the chief of police. Okay, so that those police officers will serve the community and not the higher authorities. Okay, so those are the two types of theories in police service. Okay, continental police are considered servants of higher authority, while home rule police are considered servants of the community. We have concept of police service. When I say concept, ito po yung pananaw, kung paano mo tingnan gaano ka-epektibo ang pulis. Gaano ka-efficient. Okay? So, old concept, it is the philosophy means throwing more people in jail rather than keeping them from jail. Okay, under this concept, punishment is the sole instrument of crime control. Okay, the yardstick of efficiency of police is more on arrest. So ayon sa old concept, sa lumang pananaw, kung ang police organization ay maraming naaaresto, mas epektibo yung kapulisan. Okay? So tatandaan, pagka dito sa old concept or lumang pananaw, mas marami kang naaresto, tingin sa'yo, mas magaling kang pulis. Pero sa modern concept, sa ating makabagong pananaw, na kung saan ito ay nakafocus po sa crime prevention, okay? The modern concept, police service considered as police as an organ for crime prevention under the philosophy. And in the modern concept, absence of crime is the yardstick of efficiency of police. Okay? Pag sinabi nating yardstick, the way of measurement. Okay? So how can they measure the effectiveness and efficiency of police sa old concept? More arrests. Mas maraming na aresto, mas maganda yung achievement at mas maganda yung efficiency ng police force. Pero ngayon, sa modern concept, yung pong kawalan ng krimen, doon po makikita na epektibo ang mga pulis kasi nga ang pulis ngayon sa paningin natin ay organization para sa crime prevention. So mas kokonti ang krimen or walang krimen, mas magaling yung mga pulis. mas ginagampanan nila yung kanilang trabaho. Di ba? So, sa modern concept, it is more focused on crime prevention. While on old concept, it is more focused on crime suppression. Pag may nangyari ng krimen, then they will arrest the person. That is old concept actually. Okay? Kaya kapag may nangyari ng krimen, for example, sa ating drug or fight against drugs, ang concept po na ina-apply is old concept because there are already violators. That's why the more that the police can arrest those drug users, drug pushers, then the police officers are more effective. Okay? Because that is already more on crime suppression and not on crime prevention because the crime already occurs. Andun na yung crime. Pero kung sa modern concept, more on crime prevention po ito. Okay, so mas kokonti yung krimen sa isang lugar, mas epektibo yung ating mga kapulisan. Kaya meron yung tinatawag po na crime rate. Okay, so mas mababa ang crime rate, mas maganda yung activities ng mga pulis. Yan po. So tatandaan po yung concept of police service, we have only two, old concept and modern concept. Okay, next part is the police functions. Okay, what are the functions of police officers? So, police officers have three functions. We have line function, staff functions, and auxiliary functions. Line functions are police operation designed to meet the basic police missions. Okay? Para ma-attain daw po yung basic police mission which is ensure public safety, di ba? To prevent and detect crimes. Yan. So para ma-attain yun, ano yung mga line functions, yung trabaho ng police para ma-meet yung basic police mission, para ma-maintain ang peace and order. You have patrol operation, criminal investigation, traffic direction and control, crime prevention. Okay, so kung nagpapatrolya ka, can you maintain peace and order? Yes, therefore that is line function. Okay, how about staff functions? Staff functions are those functions that exist to support line functions either directly or indirectly. For example, the planning and research unit is clearly a staff function, but its mission is primarily to support the line operations in their direct or indirect manner. No? Example are planning, research, inspection, police record system, communication system, budgeting, crime laboratory examination, and public relations. Okay? So pagka nagplano ka, nasa planning division ka, ano yung function mo? Staff functions. Okay? Ayan. Pag sinabi naman nating auxiliary functions, these are additional functions, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, additional functions. For example, nag-repair ka ng sasakyan bago ka magpatrolya, that is auxiliary functions. Auxiliary, additional. Diba? So it involves the logistical operations of the department including training, yan, communications, you have jailing, maintenance ng opisina para maging malinis, yan, nagwalis-walis ka, that is auxiliary, additional functions lang yan. Record keeping and similar operations. So tatandaan nyo po yung tatlong functions ng kapulisan: line function, staff functions. Staff function is also known as administrative functions. Then you have auxiliary functions. So line functions, yan po yung primary functions. Yung auxiliary, yan po yung secondary functions. Yung staff, yan po yung administrative works or office works na tinatawag. Okay, types of police organization, we have three types. We have line type of organization, line and staff type of organization, functional type of organization. So line type of organization, often called as individual, military, or departmental type of organization. This is the simplest, oldest, and clearest form of police organization. Authority and responsibility flows from top to bottom of the police organization in an unbroken line. Thus, authority is definite and absolute. Primarily emphasis the accountability by close adherence to the chain of command. So kung makikita nyo kasi sa line organization, ladies and gentlemen, kitang-kita kung sino yung iyong susundin. Yan. Okay? So for example, ito po yung organizational structure, kitang-kita mo kung sino yung iyong immediate superior. Okay? For example, ikaw po ay naka-assign ka sa Cabanatuan City. Then, andito ka. Diba? Then, merong police dito sa sa San Antonio, Nueva Ecija, okay, naka-assign ka sa Kabanatuan, parehas sila ng rango ng COP mo. Inuutusan ka ng COP ng San Antonio, inuutusan ka ng COP ng Kabanatuan. So, sino sa kanila ang susundin mo, makikita mo mismo dyan sa organizational structure kung sino ang iyong immediate superior. Kaya madali lang i-trace kung sino ang iyong susundin. So, that's why it's very simple. It is clear. Yan. Deadline and staff organization, ito na, may mga office works na dito. Pag sinabing line, sila yung nasa field. Tapos pag sinabing staff, sila yung support units nasa office works. Okay? So line and staff type of organization combine line units with staff or support units so that the services or knowledge of staff or specialists can provide to the police officers performing line function. As demands for police service increases, there is a need to add internal support function so that the line function can continue to provide direct services to the public. Kaya ang ginagamit po ng PNP, ladies and gentlemen, is the line and staff organization. Sa field, no, line organization 'yon. Pero pagka kabuuan ng kapulisan sa regional office, meron tayong or sa provincial, meron na pong staff diyan na purely office works po sila. Ganon din po sa national headquarters. Okay, in short, sa line, merong operation at saka staff, yung po yung administration. Okay, so line and staff type of organization, yung pong existing sa PNP. Then we have functional type of organization in its pure form. Functional type of organization is rarely found in present-day organization except at or near the top level. Structuring the police organization in this manner, it violates the prime rule that men performs best when they have one supervisor. Ito yung klase ng organization na ang dami mong boss na susundin. Okay? Yan, kasi merong kanya-kanyang sariling level of expertise. Okay, yung pong mga boss. For example po ay puro directorate lahat, no? Ayan, tapos PO1 ka, naka-assign ka sa lahat ng offices na yon, no? Sa isang building na yon, ang dami mong susundin. Puro boss mo silang lahat. Functional type of organization yon. So, mahirap tingnan kung sino ang masusunod. Okay? So, those are the three types of police organization, ladies and gentlemen. You have line type of organization, the most simplest, military type, no? Wherein authority is definite. It flows from top to bottom. Okay, pinapakita rin doon na pagka nag-complain ka is you should follow the scholar chain principle, no? Pataas ng pataas, hindi po pwedeng mag-shortcut. Yan. Sa line and staff, simply meron pong operation, meron pong staff or administrative support, no? Then we have here the functional units. Let's say functional units, components of police organization designed to work or perform in a specific task. The functional units of police organization are as follows. The bureau is the largest organic unit within the large department, and each bureau is composed of number of division. Okay? So, bureau. Example po ng bureau, mga kapangarap, we have the Philippine National Police. That is a bureau under Department of Interior and Local Government. We have also the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. We have also here the Bureau of Fire Protection. Bureau yung mga. Then we have division, no? What is division? The primary subdivision of bureau. Example po sa PNP, ladies and gentlemen, you have the crime laboratory division. We have here the investigation division. Okay? You have also the you have also there the special action force. Yan. Those are considered as divisions, intelligence group and the like. Okay? Then section, the primary subdivision of a bureau, no? Or division is the primary subdivision of bureau. Yun nga po yung intelligence division, investigation division, crime laboratory division. Then we have section, a smaller functional unit within the division that is necessary for specialization purposes. So yung crime lab ay nahahati-hati po sa section. Example po ay fingerprint section. Okay? We have also the personal identification division or yung fingerprint section. We have the ballistics section. Okay? Dahil kailangan po yun ng specialization. Pagka kailangan pa ng further specialization, for example, sa fingerprint sana or personal identification division, kailangan pa ng further specialization dahil gusto pang i-examine yung pores, then dyan nalalabas po yung poroscopy unit and the like. Okay? So, tatandaan nyo po yung BDSU, you have Bureau, Division, Section, and Unit. And take note, PNP is Bureau. Okay? Therefore, the largest organic unit within the Philippine National Police is Division. Okay, we have also here the geographical units. When you say geographical units, geography, the police officer are assigned within the territorial jurisdiction. Okay? Although sabi sa batas, the police officer or the PNP is national in scope and civilian in character, kasi makikita mo Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao ay meron po sila or iisa po yung kanilang uniforme Philippine National Police. However, when it comes to the enforcement of the law, ladies and gentlemen, police officer have the so-called territorial jurisdiction. Although, totoo nga naman na national in scope dahil kung meron kang kaso dito sa Baguio City, for example, or Cabanatuan City, at wanted siya dyan, at tumakbo sa Mindanao, pwede mo pong sundan doon sa Mindanao considering na makipag-coordinate ka. Okay, doon po sa Law Enforcement Agency in Mindanao. Okay? Or kung hindi mo na-solve naman yung kaso within 6 months, then yung pong authority to investigate will be transferred to the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, and that group of the PNP or National Support Unit of the PNP, okay, ay meron po silang national or nationwide jurisdiction. But then definitely, ang ating mga pulis ay meron pong assigned na territorial jurisdiction kung saan sila magre-render ng duty. So meaning, ang geographical units, pagkakahati-hati ng pulis, depende po sa teritoryo na kanilang ginagwardyahan. So ang una po dyan is post. It is a fixed point or location where a police officer is assigned for duty, such as designated desk or yung station desk, no? Or an intersection, okay, nagdadirect ka ng traffic, that is post. Or a crosswalk, okay, doon po sa crosswalk yung daanan para mag-cross po doon po sa kalsada. Okay, ang usual na tinatawag nyo dyan ay pedestrian lane, pero crosswalk ang specific na tawag dahil lahat ng linya para sa mga naglalakad ay crosswalk. Okay? Or a point of ingress or egress permanent for spot general guard duty. Yan po yung pinakamaliit, yung post po yan. O kaya naka-assign ka sa entrance ng isang building, post din yon. Okay? Then you have route, a length of street designated for patrol purposes called line beat. So applicable lang sa line of street po yan. Okay? So usually sa mga central business district, sa mga busy areas yan. So taas sa street, yan, using the body system, baba ulit, taas, baba, yan. So length of street, tatandaan nyo po, no? Then beat, an area assigned for patrol purposes, whether by foot or motorized. So mas malaki na po yan, pwedeng yung mga iskinita by foot, then yung kalsada motorized. Okay? So pagpapasok-pasok ka sa iskinita, okay, then dun sa highway, yan, then pwede kang mag-motorized, then that is beat patrol ang tawag. Then we have sector. Yung pong tatlong pulis, for example, na naka-assign sa post, route, o kaya beat. Yung isang pulis naka-assign po sa beat. Yung isa nasa route. Yung isa nasa post. Okay, pag pinagsama-sama mo yung area ng tatlo, ang tawag po ninyo sector. Okay, sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, ganon. Yan. Then we have the district, a geographical subdivision of city for patrol purposes, usually with its own station. Sa mga malalaking syudad, makikita natin yung pong isang district composed of barangay. For example, sa Baguio City, no? It is composed of 127 barangays, if I'm not mistaken. Then yung barangay na yon ay nahahati-hati po sa 13 barangays, ganun. Yung 13 barangay na yon, isang station ng pulis ang magmamando doon. Ang tawag po district. Yan, district. Then yung buong teritoryo, okay, the whole territory of the police within the municipality or city, ang tawag po natin is area or area of jurisdiction. Okay, a section or territorial division of a large city or metropolis, it's composed of designated district. Okay, sa Cabanatuan City, yung pong area ng pulis dyan, buong Cabanatuan. So, anong tawag dyan? Area. Okay, so it is being manned by the police officers of Cabanatuan City as a whole. Okay? Yan po. So, tatandaan nyo po yan, yung post, route, beat, sector, district, and area. Those are the territorial jurisdiction of police officers. Kaya kung makikita nyo, no, mapapansin nyo, kapag may krimen sa Kabanatuan, mga pulis ng Kabanatuan ang re-responde. Hindi po pulis ng Talavera. Tama? Yan, kasi meron pong tinatawag na territorial jurisdiction. Okay, ang mga kapulisan natin. Okay, then we have the principles of police organization. We have here the chain of command. Ano nga ba yung chain of command? Chain. Ba? Nakakita na ba kayo ng chain, ladies and gentlemen? Ha? Kabit-kabit, di ba? Yung chain, yung nilalagay po sa aso, ganyan. So, chain of command. Chain. Okay? So, chain, this refers to the line or chain of supervisors from top to bottom, an unbroken line of authority that link all person in an organization and defines who reports to whom. Okay, for example, ito, no? Yan. So, yung pong chief of police ng munisipyo, magre-report po sa province. Okay, yung province magre-report sa region. Yung region magre-report po sa national headquarters. Okay, sa chief PNP, and the chief PNP will report to the president. So parang gano'n, chain pataas. Okay, so hindi pwedeng lumaktaw pagka sinabing chain of command. Pagka nagbigay naman ng utos, pababa po yan. Yan, that is the chain of command. Pero yung pagbigay ng utos, ano, pababa, at kung kanino magre-report, yun lang po yung dinidescribe po ng chain of command. Okay? It pertains to commanding, no? An organization. So, pag nagbigay ng utos, it will be from top to bottom. Okay? Ayan. Then, we have here the unity of command. Okay, unity of command. This means each individual unit and or situation should be under the control of only one direct unit supervisor. Okay, unity of command, in short po niyan, or sa Tagalog po niyan, iisa lang po dapat ang nagbibigay ng utos. Kasi pag marami ang nagbibigay ng utos, mas nakakalito. Kaya nga, sa isang istasyon, isa lang po ang chief of police. Di ba? Sa isang munisipyo, isa lang po ang chief of police. Sa probinsya, isa lang po ang provincial director. Sa region, isa lang ang regional director. Sa buong Pilipinas, isa lang po ang chief PNP. Para saan? Okay, para po meron pong tinatawag na unity of command. Okay, iisa lang po dapat ang nagbibigay ng utos para hindi po mag. Then, number 3, we have the span of control. Ano ibig sabihin ng span of control? An officer or supervisor should not have more than subordinates that he can effectively supervise, manage, or control. Okay? So, meron lang specific number ng tao na kayang i-control effectively. A number of 5 to 6 personnel. Yun po yung pinaka-effective. Okay? Yun po yung pinaka-effective na kayang kontrolin ng isang tao. Kaya sa Army, kung makikita nyo, meron po yung tinatawag na 7-man team. Okay, 7-man kasi yung isang team leader, meron lang siyang 6 na hawak na tao para maging effective po yung pag-handle, pag-manage, pag-control po sa kanila. So kung nakikita nyo sa PNP, ano, habang tumataas yung posisyon, mas kokonti yung taong hinahandle. Diba? So, yung COP, ilan yung handle niya? 2. Meron po siyang deputy. Ayan, deputy for administration, deputy for operation. Yung mga nag-ROTC dito, no? Kung titingnan nyo yung platoon leader, ilan lang yung tao na hawak niya. Yung squad leader, ilan lang yung tao na hawak niya. Tama? Yan. Then yung corps commander, ilan lang po yung kanyang company commander na hawak. Doon po sa ROTC ninyo. So makikita nyo po yun yung pong span of control, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, number 4, we have here the delegation of authority. Okay? Dahil hindi mo naman kaya lahat ng trabaho, so anong gagawin mo? I-delegate mo yung trabaho kasama rin po yung kapangyarihan. No? So delegation of authority is simply the division of the head of the command among the officers from top to bottom. An unbroken line of authority that links all person in organization, that defines who reports to whom, wherein in delegation of authority, this is the delegation of the authority and work to your subordinate. No? Yan. So kanino mo ba ibibigay yung pong trabaho? Okay? Pag binigay mo yung trabaho or i-delegate mo yung trabaho, kasama na po doon yung pong authority na magbigay ng utos. Dahil pag ikaw ang COP, hindi mo kayang gampanan lahat ng trabaho. Okay, kaya anong gagawin mo? Magde-delegate ng deputy, di ba? Deputy for admin, deputy for operation. Okay, next you have the command responsibility. It means that the commander is directly responsible for any act or omission of his subordinate in relation to the performance of their official duties. Command responsibility, ito po yung pagpalpak po yung tauhan mo doon po sa utos na iniutos mo. Dahil utos mo yon, pumalpak sila, yan po ay pananagutan mo. Okay? So, I will give you an example. Example po sa isang kaso sa drugs, nakasaad po sa RA number 9165. Okay? Na kapag ka yung pong tao mo may nahuli pong, or may kaso po na drugs case, violation of 9165. Ngayon, yung tao mo ay hindi po nakakapunta sa korte during hearing. Okay, alam mo ba na hindi lang yung tao mo ang magkakaroon ng criminal liability, no, kundi pati po yung chief of police. Kasi bilang chief of police, responsibility mo na i-remind yung tao doon sa kanyang trabaho at doon kung sa ano yung kanyang gagawin doon sa kaso. So pag pumalpak yung tao mo, then magkakaroon ka rin ng kaso because he or she is your responsibility. Kaya nga sabi nila, higher rank, higher authority, it carries with it higher responsibility. Okay? Kaya kung titingnan nyo, ano, palpak lang ng isang pulis, kukwestiyonin yung chief PNP lagi. Kasi lahat ng kapulisan sa Pilipinas is under the command responsibility of the chief PNP. Okay?